The alpha son's fiancé falsely accused me of causing her miscarriage, just to get me kicked out of the pack, but what they didn't expect was that my brother had become the new alpha of the pack. When I saw Zoe collapsed on the ground, her thighs soaked in blood, I knew any defense I made would be pointless. Ethan, holding Zoe in his arms, looked at me with despair and asked, "Why, Emma? No, you have to believe me. I didn't do anything." I desperately tried to explain, but Zoe's groans cut me off, fueling Ethan's rage. "You didn't do anything? She's lying on the ground bleeding, and you're just standing there with hostility. How could I possibly believe you?" I tried to explain, but Ethan was already lifting Zoe up and walking away. Soon, Luna, the alpha's mother, summoned me. I knew this was about Zoe. I looked at Ethan for support, but he turned away, his eyes full of pity as he gazed at Zoe. Luna, Gabriel's cold voice echoed, "I'm sure you know why you're here." I tried to defend myself, I know, but I didn't. Didn't do what? Cause harm? Luna interrupted angrily. She stood up and walked towards me, her voice dripping with disdain. "I knew from the start you'd cause trouble. I told Alpha Troy not to take you in. After all, you caused the loss of your family when you were a child. People like you just grow up to be troublemakers." Her words about my past made my lips tremble, and I collapsed to my knees. "Please, believe me, I never touched her. Her friends were there, they can testify." But Zoe interrupted, crying out before I could finish. "My child, I wanted to surprise Ethan with this news. I knew we were meant to be together, and this child was proof. I was carrying Ethan's child, but she." Luna hugged Zoe, comforting her. "Oh, dear, I know you're telling the truth. I'm sorry this happened. We'll take care of the one who caused this." I tried to speak again, but Luna slapped me hard across the face. My breath was heavy, and my fingers dug into my thighs, but the pain in my face hurt far more. Then Luna sentenced me, "You need to leave my pack." Panic surged through me. I'd already been exiled from my birth pack because of my family. If I got kicked out again, I'd be homeless. I crawled on all fours, clutching her ankle, begging her to let me stay, but Luna disgustedly stepped back, turning her back to me as she returned to her seat. Zoe smirked at me, holding hands with Ethan. I won. I lowered my head, accepting my fate. Just then, a voice broke the silence. "What's going on here?" I looked up and saw Alpha Troy standing in the doorway, his gaze shifting between me and Luna. But what really shocked me was the man behind him, my brother, Will. "What crime has she committed?" Alpha Troy asked calmly. Before Luna could respond, Zoe stood up, one hand on her stomach, a look of feigned sorrow on her face, as though only I could see through the lie in her eyes. "She caused the loss of my child." A tense silence hung in the air, and I could feel all eyes on me. I let out a shaky breath, though I didn't mean to, but my eyes locked with Will's. As he stepped out from behind Alpha Troy, something seemed to shift in the air around him. He tilted his head, raised an eyebrow slightly, and broke our gaze, turning his attention to something behind me. "She did what?" "She caused the loss of your grandchild, Troy," Luna said, placing a hand on her husband's arm. "I warned you about her, didn't I? I told you we shouldn't have taken her in, but you didn't listen. You didn't see what it's cost us. She's done a lot of bad things. This isn't the first time." I lowered my head, trying to stay silent as Luna kept whispering doubts into the Alpha's ear. "I want her gone from the pack. Gabriel, please." Alpha Troy's voice rose slightly, clearly surprised. "I don't believe any of you have shown respect to the one standing beside me." Alpha Troy extended a hand toward Will. "This is Wilson Risender, the newly appointed Alpha of the Black Moon Pack." "Alpha? Will? Alpha? How could this be? What happened to my father?" The thought sent a surge of fear through me. What did Will mean by taking me away? What was going on? Before I could ask, Alpha Troy suddenly said, "Don't forget your promise." Will nodded. "I won't." I didn't know what promise he was referring to, as I didn't have time to ask, but then a dark wolf attacked our car. When the wolf dragged Will out, I screamed, but what happened next left me speechless. Will grabbed the wolf midair and threw it aside, without even shifting. The red aura around him made my heart race, something I'd never experienced before. The wolf transformed into a man named Ryan, who I later learned was Will's beta, and the son of my father's former beta. He seemed to enjoy tormenting Will, which, oddly enough, brought me a strange comfort in the tense moment. When we arrived at my childhood pack, whispers followed us like shadows. For years had passed, but they still remembered me, the girl supposedly responsible for my family's death. Then, the moment I feared most came. My father's voice echoed through the hallway. "What's she doing here?"